Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Please do share and let me know where you're joining from. And as you're joined on this session, kindly also do well to share the link with those in your network. So we'll get started as soon as possible. Do well to join the link. You can just share your name and where you're joining from. Please kindly share the link. We're starting very soon. Just do well, share the link, invite as many people that you can. Let's get straight into the session. All right, welcome everyone. All right, welcome everyone. Thank you for staying tuned. So we will be getting into the session right away. The session on sovereignty series. So we're looking at levels of dominance, and today we are having part three. We're having part three of the levels of dominance. All right, I can see that's a help. Thank you for joining. You're welcome. Thank you so much. We want to have others join in, so we will get started and then just go straight into the topic. And today I'll be sharing a lot of major things. If you're someone in a career or you're looking out to really start out something in your career, or you really want to do so well, or you're someone in a craft, or you're someone who want to do very well with your talents, you want to really dominate, you want to really create massive impact, you want to grow intentionally, you want to do so lot of things in the things you do. Yeah, so this particular session is one you want to really listen to. You want to create time to get a number of lessons that will really help you advance your career, do well at your business, do well with your skill, do well with your talent, and you want to be that kind of person who will grow in terms of getting recommendations, getting a lot of gigs, or you want to just improve greatly. What are the systems responsible to be able to advance your life, to be able to do so well, to be able to create massive impact? So you should stay tuned and ensure that you learn with this. So, as a means of recap from our previous parts on the levels of dominance, we shared on the aspect of relationship and how relationships play a major role, and how you can ensure that your next relationship to be able to grow into levels of dominance, whether in career, whether in leadership, whether in impact, whether in the things you choose to do. It's really essential. So we talked about the concept of selective association, the ability to select the people who come into your circle, the ability to pay attention to those who meet up to certain compartments in your life. And there are majorly three major levels to the kind of relationships and association you seem to have. You have the external relationship, you have the internal relationship, and then you have the close circle. So we spoke about the ability to be able to bring them in and knowing how to manage certain associations. So people don't just come into your life just because you see, I met them, I like them. You should let them meet up to certain requirements before you bring them to your inner circle. And then the ability to be sure and to be selective of the kind of bosses you listen to when it comes to certain areas of your life. Then we also talked about honoring commitments. It's really important that you're someone who people can take your word to the bank and then they can really cash out with it. What that means is that when you say you're going to do a thing, you are able to commit to getting it done. And people believe that you will get it done, and people can actually say that you're trustworthy and you will be able to get those things done. Garrett Lee, thank you for joining. And then we also spoke about setting boundaries, the ability to be able to have boundaries around yourself, boundaries around your relationships, boundaries around how you live your life, boundaries around the things that you do. They are very pivotal for someone who wants to live with dominion. We also spoke on the concept of mentorship and accountability. So you need to have like certain mentors around your life. You need to stay accountable to certain people. Recently a friend had a conversation we're having a conversation about certain things that she knew she needed to do, certain things she needed to really commit her mind onto and then achieve and accomplish, but she's not getting those things done, even though she desires seeing results in them. And then I spoke about the concept of accountability. Right now, you do not feel anything will go wrong. That's the reason why you do not work on your goals. You do not feel, you do not have an idea, you do not have an assumption that anything will go wrong. You do not feel like anyone would ask you. You do not feel like there's someone who you need to account to. That's the reason why most of your goals don't get achieved. So right now, let's assume towards the end of last year or last year you started writing your goals for this year. If you go back to check on your goals or check on your progress plan or check on your progress report, how many of the things you wrote down last year have you been able to accomplish today? Which means you don't have the power to exhibit dominion because you are not accountable. So the power of accountability has a way of helping you achieve your goal, achieve your result, fulfill the things you want to do. And then we talked about the concept of strategic networking. So the ability to be able to critically look at the people that would add value to your life, that will bring a measure of result to your life, that will contribute to your life productively, that would help you move from level A to level Z, or that will give you the kind of escape velocity opportunities. The ability to be able to discern, to be able to know them, to be able to look out for them and build lasting connection with them is very critical if you want to really work in dominion. And we said it's not about just declaration. We have people who make declarations of dominion, declarations of yes, I will get this thing done, it's going to be my year, it's going to be my year. But they do not move an inch in terms of progress. Why? Because they understand just declaration. They do not know how to apply the laws and principles in bringing those things out. All right. So it's very, very important that you look out for this. You look out for this. So the ability to be able to look out for key networks that can get you the kind of result that you need. Ricky Ward, thank you. I'm seeing you writing what is internal pointer. All right. So it's really important that you are able to look out for such kinds of people, and then you keep attaining escape velocity opportunities, and you are able to transform your lives consistently. So today I'm going to talk about certain things you have to take note on the journey of dominance. When we speak about the level of dominance, one of the things that you do not realize, this today I was just trying to reminisce on certain things, and I got to this point where I was able to, I drafted out this idea and I saw how true it was. The truth is, your ability to be able to grow and attain dominance or achieve certain level of result or achieve certain level of accomplishment in your life or grow to a point where you can do so well in your life, the ability to be able to attain and grow to that point does not mean that there will not be certain things that would want to create a kind of drawback. And something you realize is that for anyone who seems to be the best in an industry, who seem to be like, oh, they have grown, they fall amidst the 1%, you would always see certain things take place in their life. Number one, you would always find out that they are the kinds of people that are the most envied. They are the kinds of people that face most betrayals in their life. They are also the kinds of people that sometimes people always throw stones of certain jealousies and things around them. Now, this is what I want you to realize is that you must know that your growth, your advancement, the wonders you make, the possibility that take place in your life, and the improvement that take place in your life would always attract betrayals, and they would always attract certain sense of envy around your life. And you must be ready and prepared to accommodate them. I've seen people who say, oh, I'm doing so well. What's the reason why I'm facing this? Oh, what's the reason why, oh, people say this a lot about me? What's the reason why, oh, it seems like people gossip a lot about me? When you are not doing well, there's nothing for people to gossip about. When you are not making progress, when you are just living life to chance, when you are still average in your life, people see nothing to envy about you. But the moment you begin to grow, you begin to advance, you begin to make certain progress, and then you seem like you're sprouting out from where you are, you would always experience some sort of envy and jealousy. Now, let me remind you of this. There was this time in Babylon when the Jews, all right, they were taken captives into Babylon, and there were some set of young guys who they saw were very sharp. They could teach them the language. They were smart. They were good looking. They were amazing guys. And then they took them through a test. And amidst those young men, we have one of them who was called Daniel. And then Daniel was there in time of Nebuchadnezzar, it was there in times of Darius, it was there in the times of Belteshazzar, and there was a time that it grew to become amidst the presidents. All right, those times after the king had presidents. All right, it's not like today we have president of nations. In those times they had king. So there was a king who ruled over Babylon, and then under the king they had presidents, just like you had senators and all of them, or you had ministers. And Daniel grew, even though he was taken captive, he grew to a point where he became one of the presidents, one of the individual who sat in the meeting and took decision with the king on how the nation should run, on how the empire should be ran. And then for certain reasons, Daniel happened to be preferred, and somehow the other presidents actually made a coup, and they wanted to know the secret to why he was that smart, he was that intelligent, he could know things even before time. They wanted to know the reason. And while they were tracing him, watching out things, and then trying to see what's the secret, how does he do it, how does he look at it, how does he get all of that, they found out that one of the things he did was that he prayed a lot, and then he was praying to a God who they were not praying to, because while they were idol worshippers, Daniel prayed to what he believed as the living God. All right, at that time he prayed to the living God. Just like the same way, when certain results start taking place in your life, there are people who will try so much to watch out for you. They'll be watching out for you. They'll be like, oh, what does this guy do? Who does this guy know? Where does this guy go to? When he's not there, can we really check out? Can we really know all of these things? And that's why you must realize that there are certain things that take place in your life that should not be made a public, that should not be put out in public. Why? Because there are people who will check out to really know what the secret of your life is. All right, they will check up what's the secret of your life, what are the things you're doing, what are the people you know, where are the places you're going. Not because they desire to also grow, but because there is something around their lives, there's something around them which is not making them feel that delighted about you making progress, you rising, you moving to a very great height. So they will keep checking up on your secret. And that's why today you need to be able to understand and comprehend the strategies that worked in the life of people like Esther, Daniel, Joseph. Sometimes even Paul the Apostle, there were certain things about their lives that remain mystery because they were able to decipher the things that should be public and the things that should be kept private to them. So eventually they were tracing, just like people, maybe some of them will be checking up, oh, what are you posting on Facebook? What are you posting on Twitter? What are you posting on LinkedIn? What are you posting on Instagram? What are you pushing out about this? What are you pushing about this? While you are feeling that you're just sharing yourself, you need a kind of wisdom to know which should be let out. There are certain things that go on in your life that people should not know about, not because you're scared, but because you understand a wisdom in your season of building into dominance that should make certain things around your life a mystery. All right? That should make certain things around your life a mystery. Now, they eventually found out a secret was praying. Just like the same way people can check up on you as you begin to grow. As you're learning some of these things, coming here, you're listening to it, getting them. You are building the competence, you're positioning, understanding the best way to be able to accomplish dominance and do certain things in your life. And when certain outcomes start taking place in your life, the people who are not aware of the knowledge you have, They will feel mysterious. They want to check up on you. Sometimes they are looking at who are you talking to. Sometimes they are checking up who is calling you on the phone. Sometimes they are just trying to check up everything about you online. And that's why you find out that most of the people who are in the 1%, you hardly find them. You get what I'm saying? You hardly find them always staying online. You hardly find them talk about the core secret of the things that turn them into who they are. You see them sometimes they don't grant interviews. When they grant interviews, they have already chosen the things they want you to know, the real things they don't tell you. And that's why I tell people sometimes when you go for an event, or you go for a seminar, or you go for a conference, and then you listen to those on the panel, and then you ask questions. They ask questions like, what's the secret of your wealth? What's the secret of your booming business? What's the thing that made you do so well? How come you have succeeded so well? What is that main secret? You know what you hear? Build the right networks, go to the right places, hard work very hard, be determined, write down goals, make sure you have visions. But sometimes you pick all of those things, you do them, but you can't replicate their result. You know why? There are certain things that have to be their own personal trade secret. And those things set them out. Because the moment you know those things, they are no longer superior and they no longer walk in the light of dominance in which you see them. So that's why you need to understand that dominance would always attract a lot of things: envy, jealousy. People will even try to push out things in order to be sure that, oh, they want to really just prove a point or do certain things. But you need to stay focused to live your life on the journey, live your life on the course, live your life on the things you do, and stay at that level of consistent growth without thinking of who is throwing the stone, on who is doing all of those things and who is doing all of those things. And those are part of the things that will help you build the right relationships in your journey of dominance. All right. Now, this is the thing. Sometimes the best way to know the people who will stay or who should stay in your close circle is watch out for the reactions, the words, the expressions, the body languages of people who you have brought close to you whenever you step into a major breakthrough, or whenever they become aware of a major breakthrough that takes place. Just watch out for their actions. If you're very sensitive and very discerning, you will know straight up points or people who hold secret gossips about you, or people who don't feel delighted about your breakthrough, or people who don't feel delighted about your rising, or people who don't feel delighted about your journey, or people. That was what happened to Joseph. Joseph knew, all right, there was a time when Joseph shared, and then they will just find out, oh, what this guy is doing. Is he the only one that wants to do this? So does it mean that we're going to bow to you? Does it mean that, oh, all of us are going to do all of this? You know, there's a way you can discern people who are not delighted. So what you have to do is stay focused. Don't hate them. Don't feel like anything wrong. And these are secrets I'm telling you that a lot of people, if you go publicly, check up on top leaders, they will share with you the reasons why they have stayed consistently dominant over time. So the ability to ensure their heart is right, everything is right about them. Why? Because their growth, your development, your miracles, your lifting, your opportunities would always draw betrayals, will always draw envy, will always draw jealousy. And you will see that the moment when you were at the same level with a group of people, everybody seemed, oh, he's right, he's our guy. Everybody draws you close. Oh, she's our lady. Oh, she's my bestie. She's my all of these. But let a major breakthrough come. Watch out for the actions of those people. Just look out. Check up on them. Check up on them. Check up on their actions. Check up on their reactions. Check up on how they respond to you. Check up on the kinds of feeling they have. Naturally, it takes a transformed mind to be able to accommodate the lifting and rising of others. Okay, some may try to fake it, but if you're discerning enough, you'll know who does not feel right around your rising. So it's something you need to really take note and you need to pay attention to. All right, so some of the things I want to mention, today we just want to share for some minutes, and then it will be done. I just felt we needed to have it. I initially wanted to move this session to Friday, but I felt we can have this today and still have the part 4 on Friday, Friday night, and then we can also have it. Okay, now some things I want you to take note, and this is majorly for those who have you're in a career path already, maybe whatever career path, or you're in a business already. Some things I want you to take note when it has to do with career. I will talk about 5 things. Number one is your career is a vehicle, is not a destination. If you check Google, or you just try to search for the meaning of career, what you will find is it says career is an occupation undertaken for a significant period of a person's life and with opportunities for progress. Now, which means that your career is meant to move you forward, is not meant to be a destination. And that's why you don't just say, oh, now I'm here, now I'm staying here. Oh yeah, my career is to be let's say maybe a personal assistant. That's not a career. That's not a career. Your career is something that is only a vehicle. It's a vehicle. Being a manager does not mean being a manager is your career. Your career is actually a vehicle. You're moving. You're making progress. All right. You have the ability to move from a point A to a point B to a point C, which means your career is meant to offer you growth. Is meant to make your thinking become better. Is meant to make your skill to become sharpened. Is meant to grow the horizon of key relationships, key associations, key individuals in your life. Is meant to bring certain people that will take you to a greater level into your life. All right, and that's why you find out that sometimes in the places where people work, they are able to build connections. They are able to understand how to belong to certain communities. They are able to understand how to sharpen certain skills. That's what your career should be giving to you. Your career is not meant to be a routine. It's not meant to be something like come up, I know I have to do A, B, C, D, and that's all you do. You are not in a career. You are only being stagnant in your manner of life. So one of the things you need to understand is when you talk about career, your career is a vehicle. It's not a destination. It's not a destination. Oh, someone say, oh, my career is to become a computer scientist. Computer scientist is a name. The real career is making you grow. It's taking you on a journey. It's bringing you somewhere. It's making you advance. And that's the reason why you see, for you to become a computer scientist, you need to go to school. You need to earn a degree. While you're earning that degree, you're learning certain things. I'm speaking because computing is my field. All right, you need to do maybe in 100 level, you're doing some mathematics, you're doing some courses in English, you're doing some courses in physics, you're doing chemistry, you're doing all of those things. Why? Because you are on a journey, it's not a destination. Because the moment you allow the journey frustrate you, you will not arrive at the actual destination, which is meant to be fulfillment. Your career is meant to drive you towards a point of fulfillment. So your career is a vehicle, it's not a destination. Never take your career as a destination. It's meant to offer you growth, it's meant to bring out your potential. It's meant to sharpen your skill. It's meant to advance you. It's meant to build you. It's meant to connect you greater. Why? Because your career is a vehicle. And that's why you find out that when people are idle, for example, someone say, oh, I'm looking for a job. I'm looking to do this. I'm looking to do this. And all you're doing is sitting down. All you're doing is just sitting. Every day you're watching a movie, expecting an opportunity to come to you. You say, oh, very soon you know the career you should be into. You will miss the growth you should have. You will miss the sharpening of the skill. You will miss the key people you should meet in that journey. So your career is a vehicle. It's a vehicle. Like, for example, I didn't just finish and then come into the academic environment. No, I completed masters, moved on to the industry, worked for about 2 years. was building trainings, understanding how to build training modules, understanding how to facilitate trainings, working as a monitoring and evaluation officer for a project, being able to build research and content management skills. You know why? Because it's meant to be a journey. Your career is a journey. It's like a carriage taking you on a journey. So as you move on that journey, there seem to be certain progress being made. So your career is not a destination. Your career is a journey. Number two thing you have to take note is that your career is meant to be fulfilling. It's not meant to be a burden. When we talk about your career, it's meant to be fulfilling. You should be delighted waking up every morning and saying, I'm set out to do something that I will be fulfilled about. I'm setting out to do things for people. I'm offering that service. I'm rendering that product. I'm being able to lead a team. I'm being able to do this. I'm driving a vision, and you are delighted and fulfilled doing it on a daily basis. Your career is not meant to be a burden. If what you are doing every day, you wake up so early, you set out to the office, you set out to the workplace, you set out to do those things, does not create a fulfillment in you, you are only bearing unnecessary burden. You are not yet in a career. You are not yet in a career. So your career is meant to offer some sense of fulfillment in you. It's not meant to be a burden. All right. Now, number three things about your career. Your career is a growth system. It's not a medium of stagnation. Your career is a growth system. Is not a medium of stagnation. If all you do is to change job title, okay, today you are assistant, tomorrow you are executive, at another time you're manager, at another time you are something architect, at another time you're something this, but yet there is no growth, no evident growth or progress being made in your life. You are stagnant even if you have a job title. You're stagnant even if you have a job title. There should be that possibility for growth. There should be that advancement for growth. There should be that medium with which at certain time you want to build the capacity no longer to be at this level, but you want to have attained growth. You know why in some years time some people are going to run out of jobs? Why? Because they are not growing to be able to accommodate the latest advancement. And you would find out that it is only in continents like Africa why people feel frustrated by innovation. You know why? Because they need to retain the stagnation of their seats. They are not willing to grow to accommodate new technology. You need to keep asking yourself, what are the things that will disrupt the jobs that you do? What are the things that will disrupt the jobs that you do? Right now, you're hearing about blockchain, you're learning about artificial intelligence, you're learning about this. Yes, there are some maybe jobs that artificial intelligence may not do, but in your own job, are you already hearing about the things that will disrupt your role? Like, for example, in the creative industry, like, for example, in the entertainment industry, like, for example, in the finance industry, for example, in the computing field, for example, in education. Are you aware? Are you prepared? Are you set to be able to innovate enough to accommodate the innovations that are coming? Right now we had in the news that China created a robot that will be taking up a PhD. All right, now we're looking at how far that is going to go. We'll see how that robot is going to go through it. The robot will have to sit, to maybe write exams, to do what everybody does, and then we're looking at it. And maybe very soon you'll be told that the robots are the one that will come into the classroom and teach even better than you, explain better than you. Are you prepared as an educator? Are you built up to be the one that will control the machines? Or all you're saying is, oh, no problem, this cannot come anytime soon? And that's the reason why you will say, oh, it's not going to happen, but sometime it's really going to happen. We knew many educators that during COVID, while schools were on, campuses were on, some of them could not take online lectures. Why? Because they never imagined it was going to happen. Your career is meant to offer you is a growth system. Is ought to offer you the possibility of growth. It's meant to permit you to grow and advance. It's not meant to make you stagnant. That's why you should not be intimidated. You should not feel like, oh, it's nothing that someone is changing role. Someone goes on LinkedIn and all you're doing is always to change the bio and say, now you are in this role. But the truth is, are you really growing? Are you really growing? When someone who can do that job better than you, who can offer that role better than you, who will be more efficient, who will be more accurate, who will be faster in that role, when the person comes, will you be intimidated by it, or you would have grown so much that you will not feel intimidated by where that person has gotten to? So your career is meant to be a growth system. What's the growth system in your role? What are the things you are aware of that should take you from this level to this level, to grow revenue in your organization, to grow prominence in your organization, to increase customer acquisition? Are you aware? Can you do those things in the way that it should get done? Growth is very, very important. And that's why you see sometimes someone can come in as an intern or come in as a graduate, entry level, and after a while going out, getting courses, reaching out to mentors, being able to draft certain things, understand the student roles, and easily that person, they will just say, you are too good no longer to be in this position. They bring you higher. It's not politics. It's not just normal preference. It's growth that really advances people in the career path. All right, so your career should be a growth system. It's not a medium of stagnation or a means to be able to carry out a consistent routine. Number 4, your career is an occupation, is a work, it's not a job. Wow, how do I explain this? All right, now your career is an occupation. It's something that occupies you. It's a work you do. The moment Jesus said in the book of John, he said, I must walk the work of he that sent me while it is day. The night cometh when no man can work. I must walk the work of he that sent me while it is day. The night cometh when no man can work. What work are you doing? I'm not asking whether you have a job. What work are you doing? When we talk about work refers to productivity. Work is not saying I am present at work at 7:30 and I go back home. I leave the office at 5 or I leave the office at 6 p.m. Work means there's something that occupies you, okay? It occupies your mind, it occupies your heart, it occupies your hands, it occupies your leg. There are people who have jobs, but they are making no positive impact. They have jobs, but they don't have work. They have jobs, but they don't have work. So you have a job, you got an offer letter for a job, but you go to the office. What contributions do you make? What positive impact do you make? What do you have every day when you sit at that table, or when you walk from here to here, or all you do is you pick up your phone, you chat, but there is no value added to your organization? I can say you have a job, but you don't have a work. And that's why your career is an occupation. It occupies you. It gets you occupied. It gives you an ability to be able to be involved at something. You are working on something. You are creating something. You are improving something. You are advancing something. You are growing something. So you see why most people are not in a career. Most people are not in a career. Why? Because the real career is an occupation. It's a work that you've got to do. It's not a job. It's not a job. It's not a job. It's not a job. I hope you're getting value from these things. I hope you're getting value. I'm really delighted. I would have almost not done this. We have to really share this, Rema. Life of Neola. Thank you so much. Nice to see your comments. Our own Korean Unduka, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much. Henry has been very, very consistent with Grow School. Thanks for joining. I'm really grateful. All right. So your career is an occupation, it's not a job. Now, number 5, your career is a leading, it's not a title, it's a leading. All right, it's leading you, it's creating a path. That's why it's called career path. All right, it's creating a path towards something. It's not just owning a title. Imagine a pilot who cannot fly a plane. So he has a title, but he cannot do the work. All right, he cannot journey, he cannot take a lead, he cannot journey towards it. And that's why you need to realize that the number of years you spend at a job does not equate your level of productivity. Does not equate your level of productivity. That you've spent 10 years at that job does not mean that you have been productive for 10 years. You know, there are people who have spent 30 years at a job, but we can't speak of what positive impact and contributions they have made, even though they've been at the job for 10 years. The same thing happens to even business people who have been running this business for 5 years. What progress has been made? What impact has been made? What contribution has been made? What are the new things you now know? What growth potential do you now know? The same thing happens to those who have talent. Maybe you're in the creative space. You know, while you have been there, say, oh, I started in 2020. All right, this is 2025. In 5 years, what improvement have you made? What new things do you now know? What have you added? What have you contributed? What have you put into that craft? Or all you have is a title. I'm a content creator. I create content on Instagram and on TikTok. All right. Let's assume that's even what you want to do. What leading? What is the leading towards? What growth do you gain? What impact do you gain? What possibility do you gain in the things that you do? You know, there are people who give themselves title, but it's simply because they are so lazy. So lazy, so lazy. Yes, I'm a solo entrepreneur, I'm doing all of those things, but you're too lazy. You don't go for events, you don't go to look out for customers, you have not even learned how to create Facebook ads, Google ads, you don't know how to create ads, you've not even learned how to create so excellently in the things that you do, but you're expecting someday that people will just like what you share on WhatsApp status and they will come to you. No, there's a level of diligence that is demanded. I know some of you watch some of these movies. You watch some of these movies that many of these movies, you know, we now have a lot of actors who are now producers producing a lot of movies on YouTube and on different platforms, Netflix, Prime Videos, and all of that. We now have one circuit box or circuit TV, you know, and then you watch and watch and watch, and you see them producing movies. Some produce movies almost every week, and you watch, and you are wondering and surprised why their numbers keep growing. Diligence. They know being in the entertainment space or being in the creative space does not mean they have to just sit and fold their hands. Some of them have made names, some of them have gotten awards, some of them have won a lot of things, but yet you see them working so hard as if they are just starting. But you have not gotten anywhere. You're still trying to figure out life. You got a job somewhere, you can improve on it. You're trying to do something on creative space, you can improve on it. You do maybe one live stream in 3 months. You say, oh, easy like that. It doesn't have to be easy. You only have to break through. You only have to break through. Thank you, Faith Samuel. Well done, sir. Thank you so much. Well done too. Mr. Matthew, thank you so much for your comment. I'm getting value. Thank you. Yeah, you have to be diligent. I'm learning this one. I'm learning software engineering. You go on free code camp. You watch video for only 20 minutes. You start yawning. This video is long ago. But the same, you will sit down like this and watch movies. For the next 4 hours, you are not tired. Something is going wrong. You don't have a job. You are not ready for a career. You are still playing. You know that thing? Stop playing. Stop playing. Yeah, stop playing. Stop joking. There is nothing you want to do that does not need a measure of diligence, a measure of commitment. But it's you now, you're waiting 31st of December, you'll be laying hands on yourself. Some of you will even carry different items and you say, God, I will double it, I will make it my season, my. As you're saying those things, put in the work. That's why scripture says, faith without work is what? Let me see the comment. It's dead. Faith without work is dead. You have to put in the work. You have to put in the work. You know what the Bible says in Romans? I think it's Romans 8 verse 7. It says, not slothful in business, fervent in spirit, serving the Lord. The problem is some of you serve the Lord so much. You go to church like no man business. But you know what? You are slothful. So slothful to the point that even sloths, even slothfulness is still learning work. Saying, it's my season of this, it's my season of this. But yet you are very lazy. You are playing, no. Stop playing. Stop playing. So leading. You need a measure of commitment, a measure of diligence. If you don't want other people to use you as a tool or turn you into a victim of the agenda, put in the diligence to that work. You see, you're doing this craft, data science, data analytics, you're doing software engineering, you're doing information system, you want to become an actress, no voila. You want to become this, you want to become that. Are you ready to put in the work? Are you that diligent? And it was somebody that was asking me a question. The person sent a message. I think she wanted to learn something. I think it's on something on affiliate marketing. I can't remember now. And the first thing I said, go and sit down, look out for videos, get the basis. Make sure you seek your mind deeply into it. When you understand the flow, then maybe you can proceed to say you want to take a course. Some of you right now, you have said, I'm going to buy a book and read. I will read a book. I will finish 10 books this year. You have not finished one. No. You have not even started one. Can you see that even that progress is looking at you and saying, wait, Una, you say you want to read 10 books, you want to do this thing. How far? You're still struggling with one. You have not even started. So it's all joke. So you need to be diligent. Whatever career path, whatever achievement you want to have, whatever commitment you want to have, you need to put diligence into it. You want to be posting consistently on TikTok, or you want to be posting consistently online. Are you diligent to sit, do all of the recordings, do all of the editings, push them one after the other, release them out and doing all of those things? But the moment you go there, you get so distracted, you forget your agenda, and then you spend the next 1 hour you're scrolling through, to the point that when you are done and you now remember what you really want to do, they have already used you as part of the agenda. They have stolen your attention, and then you lose the creativity, the premium of your creativity to be able to put out the things you want to do. Judith, welcome. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining. Like I said, career is a vehicle, not a destination. Career is meant to be fulfilling, not a body. Career should be a growth system, not a stagnation. Career is an occupation, a work, not a job. Your career is a leading, it's not a title. All right. So don't assume that life should just favor you and bring certain greatness to you, certain accomplishments to you, and make you grow, make you become this. It's just by declaring things will happen. I'm sorry. You need to position and work it into accomplishment. All right. So for those who want to advance your career, there are 5 principles and 5 leverage to career advancement. There are 5 leverage to career advancement. When we talk about leverage, if you've done physics, we have something like a lever, all right, that you can use to lift up a kind of load by just applying a little effort. So it's something like this. Let me use this. So look at this pen, for example. Now, on one side, you would have something like a lever here, all right? A lever. Remember lever and pulley for those that did physics. Then you put a load here. Remember physics textbooks, comprehensive physics, physics by OKK, and then there's one physics textbook again, modern physics, all right? If you remember those textbooks and you saw those images, I did physics, so sorry for those who didn't do. So you would have efforts. You have something like effort being put here, you have load here, then you have like the lever here. So by putting a little effort, you are able to lift the load. So it's maybe like the load is like this, and then you want to put in effort, you begin to move it, and then it raises it up. So that those are the things called leverage. All right. What are the things that enable you to put little effort in getting massive results, whether in your career, in your skill, in your business, in your operation, and all? Let me talk about these five things. I don't know how much time will be permitted to move on, but just let me know. Are you learning? Are you getting value? Does it make sense? Are you getting a measure of value to the things you do? Let me know. Let me know if you're getting value. Let me know that 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 you are getting value. Yeah, thank you, Faith Samuel. I'm getting value and it's making sense. I'm getting value. So thank you, Judith. All right, so let's move on. Number one, leverage is connections. I know some of you don't like to hear it. Some of you don't like to hear those things. Because it used to look like when people say connections is very unfair. But you know what? Life does not have to be fair. Life does not have to be fair. You only need to play by the rules and then follow the principle. And when you follow the principle and you live by the rules, then you will get the results. I don't have connection. Connection. So it's connection that brought that person there. Better go and have your own. Better start building yours. Better start paying attention to the ones that can make it happen for you. Instead of saying, connection, all of them is connection that help them. You will talk there and just wake up one day and you will see gray hair on your head. You're already 50 years old, complaining why other people got certain results in their life because they had connections. Start building your own connections. If you really desire to advance, you want to really do well in your career, you want to do well in business, you want to do so well, build connections vertically and build connections horizontally. Vertically means be connected to the supreme God who created all men. Because I love that part of the scripture, which is a consolation to anyone that feels I don't have connections. It says, the heart of the king is in the hands of the Lord, and then he turneth it whithersoever he will. Which means that when you build connections all pour towards God, God has a way to channel the honor, the resources, the value, the opportunities, the gold, the silvers, the tables, the rooms of kings. It can channel them to you. All right, build connections vertically towards God and then build connections horizontally. Now there's another side to the vertically, which means you can build connections upward also. All right, to the top people in your industry, the top people in your workplaces, the top people in that sphere that you work in your creative space and all of that. You can build connections to certain people. Right now, there are people who have the right reputation to those who have gone ahead of them. So what do? They serve them. They ensure that they promote their cause such that when they have to release their own product or they need to communicate their own service, those people who have the voices, who are respected in the industry, can also speak for them. And this is something you will find in like the movie industry, for example, for those who are releasing cinema movies. You see them sometimes they reach out to those who have the names, auntie, do this and do all of that, and then they help them promote, they speak for them. Why? Because people respect these voices and these voices speaks for them. It's all about connections. It's all about the ability to collaborate with people in order to bring the kind of results you want to get. Right now, who are the people you're collaborating with? Who are the people you are speaking to? Who are the people you are working with? Who are the people you are trying to build a force? You want to build a requisite force. All right, a force. You want to build a force around them, such that you have what it takes to buy a land in their minds. And then, because of what you have offered, they feel it as a duty. You don't have to withdraw. They just feel it's a duty that I have to pay this guy back. It's a duty that I have to pay this lady back. It's a duty that I have to get these things done. That's why you must not be too much of the person who always wants to withdraw. You're always walking to people, oh, help me do this for me, promote this thing, and all of that. But what are you offering that makes it a duty for such people to show up for you when it matters? Such people, are they willing to say this is not a burden? Why? Because you have already invested in such relationship, build connections. All right. Sometimes you may not have the entire resource, but you have the skill. You know something they need earnestly, and they want you to provide it for them, and they can see that you're getting those things done, and they have to support and help you. So build connections, very important. You need connections. You need to place yourself in a kind of association that gives you the leverage to make the kind of impact that you want to. All right, so you need to be that kind of person. You need to be able to increase, work on your connections, work on your association. The right connections will be a leverage that would offer you advancement in all areas of your life. For you want to dominate, you want to sit on your throne of destiny, you want to be a voice at the table where decisions are made. You need the right connections. There are doors, there are rooms, there are places where decisions are made in every industry, in every nation, in every continent, where you need to be invited by someone on the seat to be in the room. You need to be invited by someone who already has a seat there for you to be in the room. Do you have such connections? Do you have such people? Do you belong to such associations that can speak for you when decisions are made? Do you remember what happened when Esther prepared a banquet and she wanted to really speak for her people who are the Jew? Imagine if the Jews didn't have anyone who could sit on the table, because Esther could be on the table. Haman, who was the enemy, had a seat on that table, and then King Ahasuerus. But who was the one who had access to the table? Esther. And because Esther was able to speak on that table, that was how the Jews were delivered. Sometimes you need people who can speak for you on the seat of decision. That's why, I think there was one of this series where we spoke about the concept of reputation, character. Build the right character early so that people can speak well of you in your absence and recommend you for the right opportunities even when you are not present. Even when you're not present. So number one is connections. You need the right associations. Number two is knowledge. And knowledge here refers to growth. All right, make sure you're doing something that has to do with your growth. As you're journeying towards dominance and you want to really do so well, you want to advance, you want to be the best, you want to grow into a place of authority, a place of power, a place of prominence. One of the things you need to work on is your knowledge. All right, knowledge that contributes to your growth. Okay, there are certain things that will no longer be permitted as you begin to advance in life. Like, let me speak straight up to people who you desire someday, you want to be on the limelight, you want to become so influential, you want to be that kind of person that people can call you to speak in places, refer to you for certain things, do things here and there. You want to be that kind of people, that kind of person that people call, people invite here. You want to just be in the public domain. There are certain things that will no longer be forgiven if you make mistakes in them. All right? So you're going out for an event There are certain ways that you should dress. There are certain ways that you should smell. There's certain way that your mouth odor, your body odor should be like. There are certain courtesy you should have. There's a way you should sit, like you are on the panel. There's a way you should sit. You're going out for events. There are certain kind of places they should not see you. Some of those things will not be forgiven when you get to a certain level. As you're still growing, begin to identify them. Be on the lookout. Be aware, on the lookout of how the people who are at that level, how they comport themselves, how they connect with people, how they relate with people, how they speak with patience, how they manage their anger. There are some people, even when you remember what I said at the beginning, maybe you want to handle disappointments, betrayals, or maybe some words are said. You don't just come online and begin to say certain things. If you speak carelessly, or you don't know how to manage your anger, you are not aware of what it takes to be a public figure, many things will go wrong on your journey of growth. Many things will go wrong on your journey of dominance. That's why it's important that you have this knowledge, you are aware. Also, you need the knowledge of the people who are the top leaders in that industry, or top leaders in that field, or top leaders in that area. You need to know what are the things they learned that got them there. What are the things they went to school themselves on in order to get there. And that's why you see that even top CEOs, the people who you call the wealthiest, the most respected, the greatest leaders, sometimes they still travel. They travel out to go for conferences, they travel to go for seminars, they go for workshops. Sometimes they just take themselves out on a retreat in order to gather knowledge, just because they need more knowledge. They need to know something more, because they want to build themselves more and more and more. Why? Because they know that the enemy of their next level is the previous success. The enemy of their next level is the previous success. All right, the success they had previously, if they don't build themselves, they don't improve themselves, they don't grow their knowledge, they may remain stagnant. I remember what we said about career. Career is meant to offer a growth system, not a stagnation. So you need knowledge. You may be a front desk officer. Don't settle to remain there forever. Don't just say, oh, I'm a remote this. Don't settle to be there forever. Go and seek the knowledge that the top people in that industry that they have, that can elevate your status and create a greater perspective to people in your industry, that you are a star there and you're a leader there, and you worth staying in the table where the decision makers are seated. All right, so number three leverage is community, and community is meant to offer you opportunities. I know for those who read my post on, I think, YouTube post and LinkedIn post, one of the things I said is that there is a way to set opportunities and recommendations on autopilot. Autopilot means, when we say autopilot is just something like, oh, you don't have to be involved to get those things done. All right, you don't have to be involved. Like, you have done the work, you have just set out, oh, this is step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and then you get the outcome. Now, one of the things that can actually set opportunities and recommendations on autopilot for you is community. The ability to belong to communities, belong to certain platforms where they drop opportunities, they tell you what's happening. For instance, people get travel opportunity every year just by belonging to an association. All right, they have like a global association where you belong to, and then they send emails, they send maybe posts, or maybe on groups, they push it out there, and then they said, oh, there's a funding opportunity, or there's a sponsorship opportunity for individuals who belong to this association. If you can apply and you have this and you have this, it could be very competitive, but immediately they apply, they just get it. All right, just by belonging to a community. Do you have such communities that you belong to? Maybe it might be professional associations, it could be just group of friends, or maybe group an alumni platform where they always push out opportunities, or maybe job or career posting platforms where you could just belong to and then push it out there. This also applies to people who maybe you have just graduated and you are saying, oh, you're looking out for places where they could post you to. Maybe you're looking for preferences in certain industries. You can belong to certain platforms where they will share that straight up. There are some opportunities that the people they are looking for are core members. There are people that are looking for interns. There are people that are looking for those who want to do maybe their IT and all of that. You can belong to such platforms. You check them out, you apply, you push out to reach out to someone. A very close person to me was sharing with me last week of how a person got a job. This guy got a job by reaching out to someone who was a top person who was already in that bank. Okay, the guy wanted to work as a software engineer. I think software engineer or software developer, one of the two. It was meant to be like being their IT team. And the IT team, they pay so well for banks, and sometimes they work hybrid, sometimes even remote. They do remote jobs and all of that. And he reached out to someone through LinkedIn. He was just reaching out to the person, following the person's post, and then reach out and say, "Oh, this is who I am. I love to do this. I love what you're doing." They just started connecting. That guy was the one who shared with him that, "Oh, there's an opening. Guy, you can apply, do all of this." He was giving him information on how to get prepared, things to do, how it was going to go, already setting the place down for him so that it makes it very easy for the guy to get a job just by belonging to a particular platform. All right, just by being there. You must be deliberate about any platform you belong to. For instance, I someone reached out to me at the time. Oh, there's this opportunity somewhere. Okay, just send your CV to me, and then the guy sent the CV and all of that and all of that, and they process the opportunity. There are even opportunities that come at times that just because you look at certain factors, you just feel, well, I don't think it's the best time to move. But you can set opportunities coming to you on autopilot. And when you don't need them, you also share with the people who belong to a community that you belong to. That's how it is. You can set opportunities and recommendations for yourself on autopilot. You don't have to struggle your way through. You don't have to always be the one always saying, "Oh, Jesus, do this." Position, or you are always, position for it, pray for it, pray for mercy, pray for grace, pray for favor. While you're doing the praying, position for the opportunities to come to you. I shared a post recently on LinkedIn. You can check it out after now. After my master's, I was just trying to think, oh, I needed to find something to do. I wanted to explore my skills. I wanted to do something. Then I saw an event that was going to take place. I think it was Ogun Tech Summit. I think that was the name. Ogun Tech Summit. And it was going to be a very big event. They would have students and individuals, practitioners, tech individuals coming to the event and wanted to listen, know what was up, know the plan of the government, know the funding and all of that. And I saw one of my master MSc colleague who was going to be a panelist at that program. And I went, listened, and while we were listening, the program was really nice. They treated us well. The souvenir was amazing. So amazing event. And the current Nigeria Federal Minister of Communication and Digital Economy was one of the speakers and did so well, spoke, shaped our minds on certain things. And when the event was done, I returned back to my lodge, to my apartment, and then I sent a message to my friend. Oh, that was really nice. And I just commented, and then I said, oh, based on this, I think we could look at this route, we could look at this, we could consider doing some stuff in the academia. And then there was an opening at the organization where he worked, and then he invited me. I met his the organization head, and then we just spoke. I just sat, as we interacted, I spoke. He said, yeah, this guy is joining us no CV, no CV, no interview of a sort, no serious thing. Then I got the offer. Not too long, they had a partnership with an international organization, GIZ, and then we started getting training opportunities, trainings on different trainings, project management, how to facilitate trainings, how to coach people, different kinds of trainings. I got involved in the development of one of their mobile apps called SME Sabi. SME Sabi. It's supposed to be a learning app for entrepreneurs. So we got involved, just by a voice speaking, because I had a connection with him, and he saw like a skill and felt this guy could fit into helping and supporting us, and that was it. So sometimes you could set opportunities coming to you on autopilot just by taking certain actions, doing some things deliberately, and ensuring that you stay at a point where those opportunities can gravitate towards you. So set opportunities on autopilot. I have two more, but let me just talk about this fourth one. The fourth one is habits. All right, build systems around your life. Build systems around your life. Have a means with which you do something deliberately that would keep you alive, that would make you stay mentally at premium, that would keep you financially right. Like financially, you may need to set out certain things on autopilot. There are apps where right now you can automate your savings. You can also decide to invest in Nigeria, invest in USD and all of that. Maybe at another time we'll talk about building financial dominance, building personal financial dominance, where I would just maybe show you and tell you on certain platforms with which you can make use of, do investment, mutual funds, stock investment, all of those things. Make sure that you have a means with which you make the right decisions with your money also. So build systems on how you exercise on a daily basis, or you take bricks walk. Because if all you do is work, my career, and you don't stay healthy, if anything happens to you and you get so sick that you can't work and you can't return back to that organization, or you can't return back to that business, let me shock you. You don't have to be shocked. Someone else will get that work done. So make sure that you stay alive. Do everything you have to stay alive. Be careful of the things you eat, you take in. Automate maybe sometimes the timing with which you feed, and then you do some of the things you do. So it's really, really important that you are deliberate about how you build systems around your life. You want to do daily exercise, build systems around how you study, you read, you get jobs done, you get tasks done, system around how you do certain things in your life. So it's very important that you build the right habits. Habits are powerful than goals. Should I explain that? Or we should just end the session. We should end the stream. Habits are more powerful than goals. Let me tell you why. Remember how you can sit down and then say, this year, this month, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 things. God help me. You even lay hands on the goal and say, you this goal, hear the word of the Lord. I declare upon you, you will be achieved. I will achieve you. I will achieve you. I will achieve you. I will achieve it. Amen. 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 In Jesus' name. Finish. At the end of the month, you have not achieved even half of the 3 goals. You know why? Because you thought just writing your goals will bring the results. But no, you need to build habits that will lead you to the goals. So, say for example, I want to lose 10 pounds in the next 3 months. That's the goal, right? I want to lose 10 pounds in the next 3 months. But you know what you have to do? You now need to start forming habits. Like, for example, I would wake up at 5:30 a.m. every day. I'm going to set my alarm. I'll put a reminder. And then when the reminder comes and the alarm comes up, it will say jog for the next 5 minutes. What am I doing? At 5:30 every day, day one, I did a jogging for 10 minutes. Day two, I did a jogging for 10 minutes. Day three, I did a jogging for 10 minutes. Day four, I do it. You remember, doing a jogging for 10 minutes is not a goal, it's simply the ability to build habits. Now, at the end of the day, after 1 month, I may no longer even need the alarm. Sometimes before the alarm even comes up, I'm already awake and I'm already preparing to do my jogging. At the end of the day, you will find out that you will lose that 10 pounds before the 3 months, which means you achieved your goal before the 3 months by habits, not by the goals. By habits, not by the goals. After the 3 months, you will still want to continue. Why? Because it has become an habit, and then you will stay healthy, you will stay strong, you will have ability, you will have agility, you would just find out that your breath is fine, everything is fine with you, not just because of goals, but because you're able to build habits. Oh, I want to write a book. I must write a book. I must publish a book this year. And there is a Father, Lord, I want to become an author. Lay hands on me. Give me the oil for being an author. Pour the oil, do everything. If you don't build habits, that book will only remain in your head. It will only remain in your head, though. It will never come out. But you know what you will do? When you have the goal and then of writing a book, I'm going to wake up at 4 a.m. every day. When I'm done with my prayers for the next 45 minutes, I'm going to sit down and at least write 2 pages of my book. You know what will happen? When you start building that habit, 2 pages every day, 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 2 pages every day. After 60 days, you have written 120 pages. Are you most likely going to get that book or not? Let me see in the chat. Are you most likely going to get that book out or not? You will get that book out. You will get that book ready. Yes. You will get that book ready. It's not going to just be, I will have a book. I will have a book. Habits are more powerful than goals. Habits are more powerful than goals. That's why you find out that when someone say, I want to make a first class this semester. I will make a first class this semester. Okay, no allow. Sometimes you may not get to that goal, but you know what you do with habits? You read every day, you read 2 hours 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 every day, you solve problems every day, you practice every day, you practice every day, you practice every day. Before you know it, it happens. I want to become a software developer that will be so good. Start coding. 1 hour, 30 minutes every day, 1 hour, 30 minutes every day, 1 hour. And then you're improving, you stay consistent, you build an habit of becoming that developer, and then you get better at it. Habits are more powerful than goals. What habits do you have in your life? Right now, you wake up every day. The next thing you do, you open YouTube, you watch movie. The next day, movie. The next day, TikTok. And then you don't have any habits. All you have is goals. Goals don't make people. Habits make people. I hope you're getting value. I hope it's all making sense. Yeah. It's been an amazing night. I didn't plan we'll stay this long, but when it gets really interesting, we talk, we gist, we enjoy it, we play, and then I shake your table, pieces it. Shaolin, pieces it, and then burn it very well. Thank you, Judith. Thank you, Faith. Thank you, everyone who joined. Thank you, Henry. Thank you, all. Grateful it was worth your time. Please make it another time, 9 p.m. West African time on Friday, 26th of September 2025. We will be having part 4 of the Sovereignty series. I invite you to please be there, invite your friends. The promotional material will be out, and we'll be discussing on the topic forces of dominance, the forces of dominance. So I'll be sharing a lot of other things, and permit me, I would also, to some extent, we may even be going into some spiritual mysteries that I want you to be aware of. Dominance is not just mental and intellectual, it's also spiritual. So make it a time, and I would also be making announcements. We're working on very soon having a virtual summit, 2-day virtual summit, growth summit, where we want to invite some amazing individuals. So I want you to also get set. Please join me, be part of the team. We want to publicize it. We want you to go out everywhere and get hundreds of people join the session. So make sure that you're there. I will share a little bit more about it while we figure how it goes. Thank you so much. It's of course going to be on my channel. YouTube Live would have amazing summit. You can be at home, listen, learn, practice, and then you will get live tools that you can make use in improving your personal, career, financial goals. Thank you, everyone. Till I come your way again, till we see you again in 2 days' time, in less than 48 hours. Keep improving your life, keep advancing towards dominance, and keep making a difference in your life. Bye-bye. Thank you so much.